Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be out running a bunch of errands today, so I figured instead of doing my makeup in the bathroom, I would film it because I'm going to do a quick, basic look, but I'm using a lot of new products and products that I've been recently reviewed on the blog, and I want to kind of show you guys them in action, so to speak. But it's going to be a real simple kind of pulled together look, as most of mine are. And I'm going to be using the new Tom Ford cream eyeshadow in Sphinx. I showed this on an earlier Instagram post and also on my favorites video. It's like this duochrome kind of gold with pink shimmer, which is really beautiful. And then I'm also going to be using the the Urban Decay Naked Skin Hybrid Complexion Perfector. I reviewed this on my blog with all swatches and also did a picture on my Instagram, but I thought it'd be easier for you guys to see it like in person while I'm doing it. So my skin is all ready and prepped to go. I'm using the shade Light for the Urban Decay Complexion Perfector. It is a hair too dark, probably for my winter color, but I think it's going to be perfect in the summer. And oh my gosh, first I have to talk about this brush that I'm using. So this is it's a new brush from e.l.f. And I have tons of brushes, but I received this brush and I can't remember what the name of it is. I'll link it below so you guys can see exactly what the name of it is. It's brand new, but it's for foundation, complexion products, but it's amazing. And it's $6. I looked at the brush and I'm putting it on my skin. When I go online to check it, I was like, this brush is only $6? Such a good deal. So I've been using this for the past week and really enjoying it. So the Complexion Perfector, let's talk about it. I first was kind of like, what is a complexion perfector? So it is, as sheer as a tinted moisturizer, let's say, but it's meant to help blur out imperfections. So it has some type of properties to it that helps to kind of have a, light reflecting property to help blur imperfections, so to speak. And I've tried other products that are similar to that or have the same kind of claims, but I have to say that this product really delivers on those claims. It's very, very sheer, but it does a fantastic job of evening out the skin and taking away any type of redness. What I noticed specifically was right around my nose here where I have larger pores. I noticed that the pores looked so minimized. And for such a sheer foundation or a sheer base product, I thought that was so unique because typically when I want to cover up any larger pore areas, I have to use definitely a heavier foundation or even a concealer in that area. But that is not the case with this. And so for that aspect that they claim that it kind of blurs imperfections, it really, really does. I just have to build it up just a little bit in my cheek area where I'm a little bit red. I can get a little bit of redness, but other than that, now it does have it's kind of like a natural radiant finish. And I can go without a powder, but I want you guys to see what it looks like kind of natural. And then I will use a setting powder just because I know I'm going to be outside kind of running around all day. And I want you to see also what it would look like with a powder set on it. And concealer wise, I'm just going to use my Makeup Forever, the new Ultra HD concealer. This is in the shade Y23. I've used this before in videos. This stuff is unbelievable. You only need that's why it takes me so long to get the product out, because if you use too much, you are going to have really heavy coverage. You only need the slightest amount, and it really does a great job of covering underneath the eyes. And I have a few other of the shades, so I probably could use it on the face if I need to cover any blemishes or whatever, but I tend to like to use my foundations for that. I really love this concealer for under the eyes. So just pat that in. And this is kind of the finish to the foundation. Like I said, it's very fresh. It's very kind of natural, clean, not too dewy, but not too matte. But there's you'll have a little bit of shine. If you have oily skin, you may want to use a powder just to dust down the middle of your face like I'm going to do, just to kind of help with the T-zone area, but the rest of the skin, I really want to kind of leave in its natural state with the foundation. I don't want to like set it with any powder. And I'm using the Estee Lauder Lucidity Translucent Pressed Powder in the shade Transparent. So just kind of patting that all in. I mean, it's not completely making it super flat, but it just helps to mattify the T-zone area. All right, so let's get to brows. Now brows, I've shown this before in another video. This is the new Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Brow, and I have it in the shade 20, which surprisingly is actually for blondes. Like I looked it up online and it's the blonde shade, but it works perfectly for me. Like I said before, I don't like my brows too dark. And so it has just like a nice angled edge to allow me to kind of do some rough strokes and fill in my brows. Okay, so the brows are all done. And like I said, I'm really loving this formula. I love the color, first of all, because I don't feel like it's not too dark. As you know, you've seen before, like I don't like really dark brows, even though my hair is quite dark. I've tried darker brows, and when I go to like makeup counters, I always want to make my brows very dark because my hair is very dark. Mm-mm. And it's like the only thing you can see on me. It's like, hello, brows coming right at you. So I tend to like my brows to be just a little more subtle than that. All right, using eyeshadow primer, even though I'm using a cream eyeshadow today, the Tom Ford Sphinx, I like to still use a cream eyeshadow just because my lids are quite oily. So this is the Urban Decay Primer Potion, which is that, and the NAR is one of the only two that I pretty much ever use. Okay, and then getting on to the eyeshadow. Like I said, this is the Tom Ford Cream Eyeshadow in Sphinx. I believe it's still available. I will link it below, and if for some reason, I'll try to link it to a retailer that it actually is available at, because I know it sold out quite quickly. So this is like a duochrome. It is like a gold shade that has kind of like a pink overspray almost. So I actually used a synthetic brush for applying the color, and I just kind of, this is a Urban Decay brush, and I just kind of, buffed the color in all over the lid, just took it a little bit up to the crease, made sure that it's quite blended, but it's a very, very kind of shimmery golden pink with that kind of pink undertone or overspray or whatever it's called. But I just feel like I love the look. It's very fresh. It's very kind of summery, springy. And I love the way the Tom Ford cream eyeshadows wear. They really are beautiful. They're not as much of a love as the Charlotte Tilbury one. I really love the Charlotte Tilbury one. But I enjoy these like a kind of probably a second to the Charlotte Tilbury, but like right underneath the Charlotte Tilbury. But they still went out, the Charlotte Tilbury ones. Okay, so for mascara, I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I love this stuff. I'm going to try and do a blog post. There's a few mascaras that I have here, and then one I want to pick up and try. And I want to do it all in the blog post and kind of do close-up shots so you can see my lashes. So I'll definitely be doing that in an upcoming post, but I've done this on camera a few times so you guys can see the effect of this mascara. All right, let's talk about how dramatic these are. This is such an amazing mascara. I mean, it really gives like a strong, dramatic lash. I mean, I don't wear false lashes in my videos. I know a lot of people do, but I like to use just my natural lashes, and probably on camera it doesn't look as significant, but in person, it's a very, very intense mascara. I always have to pick off like the ends of the mascara because I find that it'll smudge underneath my eyes if I don't. All right, for cheeks, we are going to use another product that I recently reviewed on the blog. And I'm trying to get a little contour brush here. First, I'm going to start prepping the cheeks. I love this. The Dim Light from Hourglass. If you watch my tutorials or any of my videos, you know that I love this stuff. And it just, for me, it just gives like a slight contour. I do it kind of like on the cheeks and a little bit under, so it's not a complete contour, but it just warms up the cheeks and gives them a little bit of definition. And I also like applying my powder blush to something already on the cheeks, like a powder product, because I find that it adheres a little bit better. I do find that when I apply powder blush to my kind of liquid or cream foundation, sometimes it can stick and get patchy. I know a lot of people have, said things to me before about how do I stop that, and I have always found that powder adheres to powder, and especially when I was doing makeup years ago. I'm trying to find a blush brush here. I have a million, but I'm like trying to find the one that I want. Okay. When I used to do makeup like years and years ago, I would always kind of try and use like a very light color on the cheeks or like a powder on the cheeks before I put on powder blush, because I just would find that it would adhere better. And like I said, powder adheres to powder, and it's going to blend a little bit better if there is already some powder on the cheeks to move it around. So that's my little tip. And for the blush, I'm using the Lorac Buildable Blush Matte in the shade Prism. And this is new. I reviewed these on my blog. I reviewed these also with some Gucci blushes that I've been loving. There's some gorgeous Gucci shades that are beautiful for spring. But they're standard colors. They're not new for spring, but they would be beautiful to wear in the springtime. And this you have to be very light-handed with, very careful, because it builds up so quickly. And you'll put on too much, just like that. The first time I tried it, I put it on, and before I just dipped my brush in, and I was like, oh my gosh, it just was like a plop of color on my cheeks. So really make sure that you pretty much dust off almost everything on your brush, so there's only a little bit left, and then you just slowly stipple the color on and make sure you blend it in. All right, for lips, going with an old favorite. This is, I don't have a ton of the NARS Audacious lipsticks. I know, crazy. Because I know a lot of people love the NARS Audacious lipsticks. I only got, I think, one shade. And it's a shade Brigitte. And it's like kind of a neutral, it's more of a peach. Like a strong peach. It's not very neutrally in the way that it doesn't have like a brown undertone. It's not very fleshy. It is quite, peachy. So it'll definitely, and I like it with this kind of look because my eyes are very subtle with just a little bit of shine from the Tom Ford cream eyeshadow. So I don't mind if my lips stand out a little bit. And you can see immediately it is a much more punchy peach. So that's the color. You can see it really stands out. And I wanted to put a little bit of a kind of, just a little bit, not really of a shine, but this is more of a balm. It's the new Smith & Cult. What are these called? I'll link it below what it is, but it's in a gold tube like this. It's like a balm gloss hybrid, and this one is called Sweet Sweet. So S-W-E-E-T and then S-U-I-T-E. And it's like a nice, it looks very, very vibrant on, but it actually is very subtle when it's just alone on the lips, but I like to use it kind of over top of things, or alone, for when I'm want something to hydrate my lips that gives barely any color. But it is doesn't have the tackiness of a gloss. It has this really unique, almost, this is going to sound awful, but I don't mean it in an awful way. It has like a silicone slip to it, but not that gross silicone slip. It has a really unique slip to it that a gloss doesn't have and that sometimes balms don't have. So I think this came out in 2 shades. There was another shade, like a really neutral brown, but I've been loving this formula. I mean, I have a few of the other Smith & Cult glosses, but I definitely feel that this new kind of gloss balm hybrid they came out with is really beautiful. So this is the final look. I'll be out and about running my errands, and I feel like it's just, you could wear this to work, you could wear this on the weekend, you could wear it out to dinner, I mean, wherever. It's still, I really like how the peach lip is a little bit punchier and has a little bit more depth to it because the eyes are so subtle. So I will make sure to link everything down below. Make sure you check out that e.l.f. brush for $6. I cannot say enough great things. Every morning that I use it, I'm just like, this is $6. Holy cow. So I'll make sure to link that one below because I don't remember the exact name. And I will talk to everyone soon. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.